Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy, your 2018-2019 F Street SCCA Solo Region Autocross Champion and 28 out of 31 at the 2019 Solo Nationals. Today, I've got a little autocross for you, so hang around and check it out. Okay, here we are at the 2019 Solo Nationals, the SCCA Solo Nationals in Lincoln, Nebraska. So this is why I missed the last 3 races of the FIA seasons. I was here autocrossing in my 2014 Infiniti Q50S Hybrid. And so you might ask yourself, what is autocross? Well, in its simplest form, it is racing around cones and usually a parking lot, but here we have a beautiful airplane parking lot located at the Lincoln Airpark. So a little bit bigger than what we're used to running at our local events. Right here I have left grid and I'm pulling up to the starting line for the East course. You get 3 runs on each course. You got 3 runs on the East course and you got 3 runs on the West course at Nationals. At a local event you'll usually get about 6 runs on one course, depending on the size of your region or how many people came out for an event. We kind of determine how many runs you get, but typically it's about 6. So at the Nationals you get 3 and 3. So here he scans my helmet. It's got a barcode on it, and that'll match up me with the time that I get through the automated timing system. And the local events typically aren't this complex. They can be, but most of them I've been to aren't. So pulling up here, timer pulls me into the line, stops me when I'm in position, and then when he tells me to go, you just drop the hammer and go. So here's the map of the East course, and here is me running the actual East course. We start here with a right-hander coming out of the start into offsets, and after the offsets will be a left-hander or 90-degree left-hander, followed by a 3-cone slalom, fairly short slalom at that. Carry good speed through there, carrying good speed through the little short slalom here. Into the U, carried a little too much here, got a little too wide, had to really kind of back off not to crash those cones. Every cone you knock out of the box or knock over is 2 seconds, a 2-second penalty. So you want to keep it as tight to the cones as possible to limit the distance, because any distance that you add to the course is just more time. So you want to be on that limit of traction on the tightest line possible, you know, a good solid racing line. As, you know, going as fast as you can, and that's autocross. So you're probably like, well, what kind of car do I need to autocross? And really, you just need a car. I started this. I just happen to have this car. This is not a very good autocross car. I'm competing against BMW M3s, Camaro SSs, and Ford Mustang GTs on the national level, and I am in a family sedan on some really pretty good tires. I'm on Bridgestone RE71Rs, but when I first started, I was on run flats. So all you need is a car. So here I come through the finish line. This was my 3rd and final run. That was my best run of the day. I ran a 72.940, which was good for 27th out of the 31 drivers. Like I said, I was going up against BMWs, Mustangs, and Camaros with a limited slip differential, a much wider rear tire, and all of them were typically right around 500 pounds lighter than my car. So I basically was, you know, I was bringing a knife to a gunfight, but it's so much fun, and I just really wanted to experience the national event. I've had good success locally, so I wanted to see how I competed against the best drivers in the country, and I pretty much got my tail handed to me, and that's okay, because that's how you learn. You don't learn by living in your comfort zone. Sometimes you gotta, you know, stretch it out a little bit and find out what's out there. You know, you don't know what's beyond the fence until you jump over it. So that's what we did. So my co-driver pulls me in the spot, and at this point, we're going to spray down. We're going to check tire pressures. We're going to spray them down with water. You can see him right there. He's spraying down the tires with water. You don't want the tires to overheat because they'll get greasy. So when you have a co-driver, the runs are closer together. They don't have time to cool off. So that's what we're doing here. So let's move on to the West course and check out that side. All right, here we are on the West course. We just pulled out. I'm leaving grid. My grid spot back there, good old 122, and heading towards the start line just like back at the East Coast. So just head down this way, head towards the starter, and do like you did before. Make sure your car is in all the various modes you want it to be in before you get started. I like to have traction control off and sport mode, yada yada. As I pull in here behind the Mustang GT, I'm sitting currently, I think I was at this point 29th out of 31. I'd fallen one spot back to one of the Mustangs as well as my co-driver. He overtook me by about right here. I think he was about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds up on me. And so I was needing just a good solid run on my last run at Nationals. So this starter was one of the best I've ever had. He reels you in, man. He had you pumped up. You know, it's like you're in a jet plane or something, man. Stops you there. So let's look at the map here real quick for the West Course. There it is. Yes, it looks exciting. It looks like a bunch of spaghetti. That's right. We had to memorize all that. So it took about 8 course walks to get it down. So hang a left here, heading towards this off-camber right-hand sweeper. Easy to take too much speed through there. Through this little short section of offsets into a big 180. I mean, this thing was much bigger than anything I was used to on the local level. Trying to carry not too much speed through here because you've got to transition back left and try and straighten this out as much as possible. Carry as much speed as you could. Again, hanging tight in on that cone around another 180 into basically like a snaking S section. Catch the car a little bit right there. Coming through here, I'm going to sweep back to the left after these left-hand pointers and almost another 180 pretty much. Going towards what I call the A-frame. And I really struggled with this section. I could have carried more speed than I did, but for some reason I kept just braking too early here. I wasn't seeing it very well. So after the A-frame, you're heading towards this 5-cone slalom, but the trick here was at the end of the 5th cone was another right-hander. So you couldn't carry too much speed coming out of the slalom because you had to hang a tight right here into a really wide offset, hanging back left and through the final finishing right-hander, trying to carry as much speed as possible and missing those cones. Every cone on the course counts. So if you knock any of these cones over, it's 2 seconds. So there you have it. I ran a 72.155. That brought me back into 28th place. 1 position behind a BMW driver, 2 positions behind my co-driver who finished in 26th, which was really good. We were able to beat 1 BMW M3. The rest we beat were Mustangs. So, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was more difficult to drive these courses than anything I had done anywhere in the local areas. I would say the closest match was we did an airport run at a SOLA event, and they no longer can run that airport, but that was more along this level of the number of elements that you had to memorize. So it's very difficult, but it was a lot of fun, a lot of cool people, tons of cool cars out here. I mean, we saw everything from Lamborghinis to Honda Civics. You know, it was just, you name it, it was out here. So really enjoyed the event. We had a great time. Sorry I missed everyone. I wish I could have ran those last 3 races for the FIAs. I really did well this year. Moved up a lot in the rankings, but I wasn't going to miss this for the world. So there you have it. This is autocross. If you want to autocross, just go to scca.org, find your local region, and just sign up and go. They got loaner helmets. All you gotta do is sign a waiver, pay a small fee, bring your car out there, make sure it's in decent shape, batteries, secure, tires in okay shape, not corded, and the car is, generally good working order. And man, go out and race. And then, I went out, I think I finished like almost dead last my first time out, and it's just, you get better like everything else. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like. If you really liked it, like I say, hit the subscribe. And thanks for coming along to the Nationals with me. Y'all a good evening.